Hello everybody, my name is Nick. Today I want to show you one English class can help us speaking listening very fast only in 1 month. I think so. Good luck to you.
Okay, it's time for the mini story for the lost custody lesson. Let's get started right away. Here we go. Yuriko is unfit to be a student. Every day she comes to school late. Then she belittles the other students. When another student makes a mistake, Yuriko yells, "Are you stupid? Do you have a mental disability? What's wrong with you, you idiot?" One day, another student named Jinhua complains to AJ, the teacher. She says, "I'm frightened by Yuriko. I'm going to quit this class." The teacher says, "Stick it out, Jinhua. Don't worry. I will get rid of Yuriko. Then we will all be better off." The next day, AJ, the teacher, brings a gun to school. He points the gun at Yuriko and threatens her. He says, "Yuriko, if you come to my class again, I will kill you. Then I will take custody of your son, and I will beat him every day. So leave now." Yuriko is frightened by AJ's threat. She starts crying, and then she runs out of the class. The other students cheer, "Yay!" and everybody's happy. Okay, let's go again. Back to the beginning, this time with questions. Yuriko is unfit to be a student. Is Yuriko good enough to be a student? No, of course not. She's not. She's unfit to be a student. She cannot be a student. Why is she unfit to be a student? Well, because she comes late every day and she says bad, terrible things to other students. That's why she's unfit to be a student. Is Jinhua unfit to be a student? No. Jinhua is a very good student. She's fit to be a student. But Yuriko is unfit to be a student. Is Yuriko unfit to be a business person? Well, I don't know, but maybe she's okay. Maybe she can be a business person. But she's unfit to be a student. She might be fit to be a business person, but she's unfit to be a student. Who is unfit to be a student, Yuriko or Jinhua? Well, Yuriko is unfit to be a student. Who is unfit to be a student? Yuriko is unfit to be a student, right? She can't be a student because she's a very mean, terrible person. Every day she comes to school late. Then she belittles the other students. Does she insult the other students and say bad things? Yes, that's right, exactly. She belittles the other students. She says terrible things to them. "You're stupid. You're ugly. I don't like you. You're a horrible person." She says these things. She belittles the other students. Who belittles the other students? Well, Yuriko belittles the other students. Who does Yuriko belittle? Well, Yuriko belittles the other students. Does Yuriko belittle the teacher? No. She does not belittle the teacher. She does not insult him. She does not say terrible things to the teacher. She belittles the students. Does the teacher, AJ, does he belittle the students? No. AJ does not belittle the students. Who belittles the students? Well, Yuriko belittles the students, right? How does she belittle the students? Well, when another student makes a mistake, Yuriko yells, "Are you stupid? Do you have a mental disability? What's wrong with you, you idiot?" Does she ask the students if they are damaged, if their brain is damaged, something's wrong with their brain? Yeah, that's right, exactly. She says, "Do you have a mental disability?" It means, is your brain broken? Is your mind broken? Right? She says, "Do you have a mental disability?" Does she ask if they have a physical disability? No, she doesn't ask if they have a physical disability. Physical disability, maybe their legs don't work. Maybe their eyes don't work well. They can't see. That's not what she's asking. She asks if they have a mental disability, right? A brain disability, because they're so stupid. Does she ask other students if they have a mental disability? Yeah, that's right. She asked the other students if they have a mental disability. Does she ask the teacher if he has a mental disability? No, remember, she does not belittle the teacher, so she never asked the teacher if he has a mental disability. Who does she ask? Do you have a mental disability? Well, she says that to other students when they make a mistake. So it's very strong, right? Do you have a brain problem, something broken in your brain, a mental disability? She says, "What's wrong with you, you idiot?" Well, the students feel very bad. One day, another student named Jinhua complains to AJ, the teacher. She says, "AJ, I'm frightened by Yuriko." Does Yuriko scare her? Yes, that's exactly right. She's frightened by Yuriko. She's scared of Yuriko. She feels afraid. Does Jinhua feel very, very scared and afraid? Well, exactly right. She feels frightened, right? She's frightened by Yuriko. Is Jinhua frightened by AJ? No. She's not frightened by AJ. Who is she frightened by? Well, she's frightened by Yuriko. Why is she frightened by Yuriko? Well, she's scared of Yuriko. She's frightened by Yuriko because Yuriko says mean, terrible things. Yuriko belittles Jinhua every day. That's why she's frightened by Yuriko. Does Yuriko frighten all the students in the class? Well, yeah, that's right. Actually, she does. All the students are frightened by Yuriko. They're all frightened by Yuriko. Does Yuriko frighten the teacher? No, AJ's not afraid of Yuriko. He's not frightened by Yuriko. But Yuriko frightens everybody else. And anyway, Jinhua tells AJ, "I'm frightened by Yuriko, and I'm going to quit this class." AJ says, "Jinhua, stick it out." Does AJ want Jinhua to quit the class? No. He wants her to continue with the class. He says, "Stick it out, Jinhua. Continue with the class, Jinhua." Does AJ want Jinhua to stick it out in English class? Yeah, that's right. He wants her to continue with English class. He wants her to stick it out in English class. Does he want her to stick it out in science class? No. This is not a science class. He doesn't want her to stick it out in science class. He doesn't want her to continue with science. He wants her to stick it out in English class. Does AJ want Yuriko to stick it out? No. The opposite, actually. He does not want Yuriko to continue with the class. Who does he want to stick it out in class? Well, he wants Jinhua to stick it out, right? He likes Jinhua. He wants Jinhua to stick it out in class. He wants her to continue. He does not want Yuriko to stick it out. So he tells Jinhua, "Stick it out, Jinhua. Don't worry. I will get rid of Yuriko. Then we will all be better off." Is he going to make Yuriko leave the class? Yeah, that's right. He's going to get rid of Yuriko. He's going to make her leave. He's going to throw her away. He's going to push her out. Right? That's get rid of. Get rid of means to eliminate, to delete, to throw away. So he's going to get rid of Yuriko. Will he get rid of Jinhua? No. He wants Jinhua to stick it out. He will get rid of Yuriko. Why will he get rid of Yuriko? Well, because Yuriko is frightening the other students, right? That's why. After Yuriko leaves, he says, "Then we will all be better off." Will all the students have a better situation after Yuriko leaves? Yeah, that's exactly right. They'll be better off. They will have a better situation. Will the class improve after Yuriko leaves? Yes, that's exactly right. The class will be better off. The class will improve. Everyone will feel better. Everything will be better. They will be better off. They will improve and be happier after Yuriko leaves. Will the class be better off if Jinhua leaves? No. They won't be better off if Jinhua leaves. Jinhua's a great student. She's very nice. They'll be better off if Yuriko leaves. Will the class be better off if AJ leaves? Well, maybe, maybe they need a better teacher. AJ's maybe not a good teacher. But, in general, no, they won't be better off if AJ leaves. They'll be better off if Yuriko leaves. Okay, so AJ says we'll all be better off after Yuriko leaves. The next day, AJ, the teacher, brings a gun to class because he's American and we all have guns. He points the gun at Yuriko and he says to Yuriko, he threatens her and he says, Yuriko, if you come to my class again, I will kill you. Then I will take custody of your son and beat him every day. Does AJ threaten Yuriko? Yeah, that's exactly right. AJ says he's going to hurt her. So he threatens her. He threatens Yuriko. Does AJ threaten Jinhua? No, AJ does not threaten Jinhua. AJ threatens Yuriko. Why does AJ threaten Yuriko? Well, he threatens her because he wants her to leave the class, right? He wants to frighten her. He wants her to leave the class. That's why he threatens her. And I'm using threaten as a verb here, right? This is a verb, to threaten. Does AJ threaten other students? No. He only threatens Yuriko. He only says he will hurt Yuriko. He says, Yuriko, if you come to my class again, I will kill you. Then I will take custody of your son and beat him every day. When AJ threatens Yuriko, what does he say? Well, he says he's going to kill her and take her son, take custody of her son, and then beat him every day. Will AJ take her son? Will he own her son? Yeah, that's right. He will take custody of her son. He will become the owner of her son. The government will say, AJ, you are now the official father, the legal father. So AJ will take custody of her son after Yuriko is killed. Why will AJ take custody of her son? Well, he will take her son. He will take custody of her son so he can beat him every day. Oh, AJ's such a nice guy. He says, I will take custody of your son and beat him every day. Will he take custody of her daughter? No, he will not take custody of her daughter. He will take custody of her son. Whose son will he take custody of? Well, he will take custody of Yuriko's son. Why will he take custody of Yuriko's son? Well, so he can beat him and so he can threaten her. Okay, so he says, leave now, or I will take custody of your son and kill you. Leave the class now and never come back. Yuriko is frightened by AJ's threat. Is Yuriko scared by what AJ says? Yes, she is. She's very frightened by AJ's threat. Is Yuriko frightened by AJ's compliment? No, of course not. AJ did not say something nice to her. That's a compliment. She's frightened by AJ's threat. What was AJ's threat? Now it's a noun, right? Threat this time is a noun. Well, AJ's threat was, he said he would kill her and take her son. That was AJ's threat. That's the dangerous thing AJ said he will do. Okay, AJ's threat. Was it frightening? Was it scary? Now I'm using frightening as an adjective. Yeah, AJ's threat was frightening. So Yuriko was frightened. Right? AJ's threat was frightening. So Yuriko felt frightened. Frightened is a feeling. Frightening describes a situation or a thing. So AJ's threat was very frightening. Very scary. Okay. So after AJ's threat, what does Yuriko do? Well, after she hears AJ's threat, Yuriko starts to cry. Oh, no, please don't hurt me. Then she runs out of the class, and all the other students cheer. Yay, we're happy. All right, good. One more time. This time I'll pause after the key phrases. Yuriko is unfit to be a student. Good. Yuriko is unfit to be a student. Every day she comes to school. Then she belittles the other students. When another student makes a mistake, Yuriko yells, "Are you stupid? Do you have a mental disability? What's wrong with you, you idiot?" One day, another student named Jinhua complains to AJ, the teacher. She says, I'm frightened by Yuriko. I'm going to quit this class. The teacher says, Stick it out, Jinhua. Don't worry, I will get rid of Yuriko. Then we will all be better off. The next day, AJ brings a gun to school. He points the gun at Yuriko and threatens her. Yuriko, if you come to my class again, I will kill you, and then I'll take custody of your son. And I will beat him every day. So leave now. Yuriko is frightened by AJ's threat. She starts crying and then runs out of the class. The other students cheer. Yay! Okay, that is the end of the mini story. Please stop now and tell all of the story yourself using the correct phrases. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, this is the point of view mini stories for lost custody. Let's get started. First one with the phrase 20 years ago. 20 years ago, there was a student named Yuriko. She was unfit to be a student. Every day she came to school late. Then she belittled the other students. When another student made a mistake, Yuriko yelled, Are you stupid? Do you have a mental disability? What's wrong with you, you idiot? One day, another student named Jinhua complained to AJ, the teacher. She said, I'm frightened by Yuriko. I'm going to quit this class. The teacher said, Stick it out, Jinhua. Don't worry. I will get rid of Yuriko. Then we will all be better off. The next day, AJ, the teacher, brought a gun to class. He pointed the gun at Yuriko and threatened her. He said, Yuriko, if you come to my class again, I will kill you, and then I will take custody of your son and beat him every day. So leave now. Yuriko was frightened by AJ's threat. She started to cry. Then she ran out of the class. The other students cheered. Yay! Yuriko's gone! Okay, the next version begins with since January. Since January, there has been a new student in AJ's class. Her name is Yuriko. Yuriko is unfit to be a student. Every day she has come to school late. Then she has belittled the other students. When another student has made a mistake, Yuriko has always yelled, Are you stupid? Do you have a mental disability? What's wrong with you, you idiot? Well, one day, another student named Jinhua complained to AJ, the teacher. She said, I'm frightened by Yuriko. I'm going to quit this class. The teacher said, Stick it out, Jinhua. Don't worry. I'll get rid of Yuriko. Then we'll all be better off. The next day, AJ brought a gun to school. He pointed the gun at Yuriko and threatened her. He said, Yuriko, if you come to my class again, I will kill you, and then I'll take custody of your son and beat him every day. So leave now. Yuriko was frightened by AJ's threat. She started crying, and then she ran out of the class. The other students cheered, Yay! Okay, you'll notice that in the beginning there, I use the she has come to school, she has belittled the other students, because those are things she did every day starting in January up until now. But I said Yuriko is unfit to be a student. I said that because that's a general statement about her that's always true, past, present, and probably in the future too. So I used the present tense in that one. And then I switched to the past. I said one day, another student named Jianhua, and now we're describing one thing that happened. It already happened. It's totally finished. So that's when I switched to simple past again. Don't worry. Don't think about the verb tenses. Don't think about the names, present, perfect, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about that. Just listen for when I change. Try to get a feeling for when I'm changing. Okay, so listen carefully. That's your only job. Do not try to memorize the rules. Do not try to remember all those grammar rules. Just try to get a feeling for when I change the verb tenses. And maybe why do I do it? That's all. That's all you need to do. All right, next one. Let's go to the future. Back to the future. In 10 years, starting with in 10 years. Here we go. In the future, 10 years from now, in 10 years, there will be a class. And in the class, there will be a student named Yuriko. Yuriko will be unfit to be a student. Every day she'll come to class late. Then she'll belittle the other students. When another student makes a mistake, Yuriko will yell, "Are you stupid? Do you have a mental disability? What's wrong with you, you idiot?" Now, one day, another student named Jinhua will complain to the teacher, whose name is AJ. She'll say, "I'm frightened by Yuriko. I'm going to quit this class." The teacher will say, "Stick it out, Jinhua. Don't worry. I'll get rid of Yuriko. Then we'll all be better off." The next day, AJ will bring a gun to class. He'll point the gun at Yuriko and threaten her. "Yuriko, if you come to my class again, I'll kill you, and then I'll take custody of your son and beat him every day. So leave now." Yuriko will be frightened by AJ's threat. She'll start crying, and then she'll run out of the class. The other students will cheer, "Yay! Yuriko's gone, yay!" All right, that's all for the point of view stories. Please now go back, listen to the first one, then pause, and try to tell the first story yourself, beginning with 20 years ago. Try to tell all of the story and use the correct verbs and the correct vocabulary. Then listen to the second one, starting with since January. Listen to it a few times and then pause and try to tell it yourself out loud, maybe alone in your room or something. And then finally, listen to the third one, beginning with in 10 years or 10 years from now, and try to tell that one yourself also. Okay, if you have trouble, if you can't remember exactly the words to say or you make a few mistakes, listen, just relax, okay? Relax. It takes a little time. The most important thing is to listen very carefully and to listen again and again and again until you are sleeping and dreaming about these stories. Then it will become automatic. So please relax about making mistakes. This is not a test, okay? In fact, you can only listen if you want to. If you want to, just listen. You don't need to try to tell the stories yourself. If it makes you feel stressed, if it makes you feel nervous or uncomfortable to pause and speak, then don't do it. Only tell the stories if you are relaxed about it, if you can do it and you don't worry, you don't feel nervous about making mistakes. If you feel nervous, just relax and listen only. That's fine. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Welcome to the vocabulary lesson for the Dear Abby letter, Lost Custody. Let's get started. Young mother is frightened by threat of lost custody. To be frightened means to be scared. So frightened is the same as scared. If you say I'm frightened, it means I'm scared, or it means I'm afraid. Afraid, frightened, scared, all mean the same thing. And the word custody is important. Custody means ownership. It means to own a person. It really means you are the person responsible for someone else. Usually we use this with children. For example, if I say, I have custody of my son, it means I am the person responsible for my son. The government, the courts, the law says that I am the owner of my son, right? I have custody, that my son lives with me. So that's what it means. This woman, she's worried that her child, her son, she will lose custody. It means she thinks if she gets a divorce, her husband will get custody, meaning the son will live with him. He will have custody, right? He will kind of own the child. The child will live with him. So she's worried that if she gets a divorce, the husband would get custody. She would lose her son. And then threat in the same sentence. She's frightened by the threat of lost custody. So this has not happened yet. A threat is something that seems dangerous. It means something that might hurt you. But it hasn't hurt you yet. Not yet, but it might hurt you. For example, if I have a gun and I point the gun at you, I have the gun, I'm yelling at you saying, I'm going to kill you. That is a threat, right? I have not hurt you yet. I have not killed you yet, but I'm saying I will. So it's a possible danger. It means someone could possibly hurt you. So her husband could possibly take the child. It's the threat of lost custody. All right, and then in the first paragraph of this letter, we have the word belittles, to belittle. She says her husband always belittles me, always belittles her. So to belittle means to insult and criticize. But in a really bad way. You try to make someone feel small. That's where the word comes from, belittle. It means you always putting them down, always saying bad things to them. So, for example, you're stupid, you're ugly, you'll never succeed, you're always going to fail, there's something wrong with you. Okay, I am belittling you, right? I am saying bad things to you to make you feel very small, make you feel weak. So it's a verb, to belittle, to make someone feel small by insulting them again and again. All right, in the second paragraph, we have the word unfit. She says the husband might tell the judge, might tell the government, that she is an unfit mother. Unfit means not good enough to be something. So an unfit mother means a mother who's not good enough to be a mom, right? She should not be a mother. She cannot take care of her children. She's unfit. She's not good enough. She can't do the job. If you say he is an unfit teacher, it means he's not good enough to teach. He should not teach. Now, this is a very strong word. So it doesn't mean bad. It's stronger than bad. If you say he is a bad teacher, it means, maybe he's boring or maybe he's not very good. But it doesn't, unfit is more than that. Unfit means terrible, 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 should not be a teacher at all. Right? Does not have the skills. Maybe he never went to college. Maybe he doesn't know the subject at all. That's why we would say he is unfit. So an unfit mother, it's not just a bad mother, it's a mother who cannot take care of her child at all. All right, and then in the next paragraph, we have the phrase, to be better off. She says, I know my son won't be better off with my husband. Won't be better off. To be better off to me means to have a better situation or to have a better life, right? It can also have the idea of to have an improved life, improved. So she's saying she doesn't think her son would have a better life with her husband. She thinks he would not be better off with the husband, not have a better life. In that same paragraph, we see the phrase on disability. On disability. Now, disability means exactly what it says. Ability means you can do something, right? Some skill or something you can do. Disability means something you cannot do. Usually we use this word for something physical. For example, if I'm in a wheelchair, it means I cannot walk, right? I don't have the ability to walk. I have a disability. I can't walk. I have a disability. Or if I'm blind, I can't see, then I'd say I have a disability. But this phrase, to be on disability, is a little different. Now she's talking about a government program. Disability. The American government pays money to people who have problems, physical problems. Maybe they can't work. So the government will give them money every month. And that program, the government program, is called disability. That's the kind of casual name for it. So to be on disability means you get a check from the government because you have some kind of problem. Now, it might be a big problem, very serious, or it might actually be something fairly small. We don't know. In this letter, we don't know if it's serious or not. But anyway, she's getting a check from the government because of some physical problem or illness or something like that. And then finally, in the last little paragraph, she asks Abby, should I stick it out with my husband? Should I stick it out? To stick it out means to stay. It means to continue doing something. For example, I'm going to stick it out at my job. That means I'm going to continue working my job. Now, stick it out, we use it in situations that are difficult or unpleasant, not fun, right? So if you stick out a job, if you say, I'm going to stick it out at my job, it has the idea that your job is not fun, right? You don't like your job, but you will continue doing it anyway. So she doesn't really like her husband, but she's asking, should I stick it out with my husband? Meaning, okay, she doesn't enjoy her husband, she doesn't like him, but maybe she should keep trying anyway. Maybe she should stay with him and continue with him anyway. So stick it out, to continue with a situation that is not easy or that is unpleasant. And finally, she signs this, trapped in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is a state. It's a part of the United States in the northeast part of the country. To be trapped means you can't leave, right? It means you're stuck. You are, for example, if I say, I'm trapped in my room, it means my door is locked and I cannot get out. I cannot leave my room. I'm trapped in the room. So to be trapped in a job means you're in the job, but you can't leave the job. Maybe you can't find a new one. But you need money, so you can't leave the job. You're trapped in the job. She feels trapped in her marriage. She doesn't like her husband. He's not a good guy.